Last season, the Oklahoma City Thunder were one of the more surprising teams in the league, as they were a top 5 team in the West when most assumed they would be one of the worst teams in the West. But in the offseason, when they traded Chris Paul to the Suns, everyone assumed they would be one of the worst teams in the West again. But to start this season, the Thunder have had an 8-10 record, which isn't an amazing record, but it's still better than expected. So in today's video, I'll be discussing how good I think the Thunder will be this season, as well as discussing their young players. But before we get into the video, I ask you to drop a like on this video to help my channel grow, subscribe to my channel if you want weekly NBA content, and to help me reach my goal of 1,000 subscribers, and comment on this video to start a conversation with me, because I respond to all of my comments. And then play that intro. Surprisingly, OKC has been decent without being particularly good on offense or on defense, and they actually have been bottom 5 in defense and offense. As on offense, they rank 26th in offensive rating, and I honestly don't see them improving that much, as a lot of their top players are playing as good as you would expect, and they just straight up don't even have a top 20 player in the league on their team, so that's a huge disadvantage. And outside of Shea, no one else on this roster can create their own shot consistently, so a lot of the other players are dependent on him making plays for them. And on defense, they rank 25th in defensive rating. And to be honest, I think this team could be an above average defense, as they have a lot of good and solid defenders in Shea, Dort, Al Horford, Hamidou Diallo, and George Hill. So I honestly expect them to be better as the year goes on. But the player who has been leading the Thunder to a good record is gilgeous-alexander, who has taken the leap as a player without Chris Paul and Dennis Schroeder. As so far this year, he's averaged 22 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, shooting 51% from the field and 37% from 3. And even though he definitely has taken a leap, it wasn't the way I thought he would, as I believed his scoring would go way up, and I assumed his efficiency and passing would go down. But he has taken the other route of being a playmaker and being an efficient scorer who only takes smart shots, which I believe is better, since I'd rather have an efficient 20 points per game scorer who passes and creates for others over an inefficient 28 points per game scorer. And nonetheless, in the future, I expect Shea to be a top 10 shooting guard if he isn't right now. But surprisingly, this year he has played 71% of his minutes at small forward. I don't think anyone considers him a 3. Last year, we all viewed Dort as a terrible offensive player who was a fantastic perimeter defender. But this year, it seems like not only is he a terrific defender, but he's also respectable on offense, as this season he has averaged 12 points, shooting 44% from the field and 38% from 3. And the biggest leap has been how much his 3-point shot has improved, as he has shot 38% from 3, shooting nearly 6 of them a game, which is very impressive for any player, especially Dort. So far, he has been a legitimate good shooter, which is surprising, since last year he was a legitimate terrible shooter. But Dort is not just a catch and shoot guy. He has shown an ability to at times get past his defender and get all the way to the rim, which is great. And on top of his solid offense, he might be a top 10 perimeter defender in the league, as I would trust him to guard any perimeter scorer in the league. And even though he's only 6'4" or 6'5", he can guard guys who are 4 inches taller than him, due to him being very strong and having a 6'9" wingspan. Al Horford has been really good this season as a defender and floor spacer, and I think him doing well is mainly because he has been allowed to play his natural position, which is the 5 spot. And the main reason he wasn't good last season was because he was forced to play the 4 spot, since he was playing alongside Joel Embiid, one of the best big men in the league. And I still think he's an above average starting center in the league, as he brings good floor spacing, finishing, and good defense at the 5 spot. And I think if he continues playing like this, he could maybe get moved to a serious playoff team. Hamidou Diallo has been one of the more underrated bench players in the league, as he has been a nice slasher and solid defender, as he's averaged 11 points and 4 rebounds, shooting 52% from the field, and he just brings a lot of energy to the team. George Hill has been good to start the year, averaging 12 points and 3 assists, shooting 38% from 3, and on top of that, he's a solid defender. And I think he could be a quality addition for some playoff teams like the Warriors, Clippers, or Mavs. Darius Bailey is one of the more underrated young players on this team. To start the year, he hasn't been amazing, as he's averaged 11 points and 7 rebounds, shooting an inefficient 40% from the field and 28% from 3 as a power forward. And I think he's struggling mainly because he has been taking a majority of his shots outside the paint, and he just isn't a great enough shooter to just do that. And he's not knocking down his shots right now. But I still think he can be a really good starting four in the next few years, as he's a solid ball handler and shooter for his position. And I think he will be better as the year goes on. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know a crazy amount about Isaiah Roby, but I did see that one game where he scored 20 points against Orlando, and he looks like a skilled four who could put the ball on the floor and space the floor. This year he's been averaging 8 points and 5 rebounds. I think going into the future, him and Beasley will be fighting for the starting four position, and I think they both play somewhat similar. But if I had to predict where they will finish for the season, I honestly don't see them making the playoffs, and I think they will finish as an 11th or 12th seed in the Western Conference. And they will be a team that can sometimes compete with playoff teams, but I think they lack the shot creation outside of Shea, and it will hold them back. And I think they will still be better than most expect, but not playoff level. Anyways guys, that's it for the video. Let me know if you think OKC will make the playoffs. Drop a like on this video to help my channel grow. Subscribe to my channel if you want weekly NBA content and to help me reach my goal of 1,000 subscribers. And comment on this video to start a conversation because I respond to all of my comments. And I'm out.